Hello, I hope you're well. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome to today's video, which I am so jazzed about. As you will have guessed from the title, I am here to announce another readathon, and that is the Broadway Babyathon readathon, which is taking place in July, and it is a Broadway musical themed readathon. I am co-hosting it with 3 other theater kids on BookTube, Catherine, Claire, and Katie, and if you aren't subscribed to their channels, I've linked them in the description box for you, so you should check it out and subscribe. But yeah, this is a Broadway themed readathon, and as I mentioned, I'm like jazzed about it to the point that I want to just do jazz hands constantly because I love musical theater. Like, I grew up watching the really elaborate movie musicals of Rodgers and Hammerstein. I've gone to see musicals on Broadway. I've seen musicals on the West End, and let me tell you something, I am never going to take those experiences for granted again. I have missed going to the theater. I also happen to think that Stephen Sondheim is king, so I have a lot of love for musical theater and was very excited to see that there were other people on BookTube who shared my passion for it, and so we came up with this readathon. So kind of the overview of it is that the readathon is for 2 weeks in July. It's from July 1st to July 14th, and it is a team-based readathon. So there are 4 teams to choose from, and each of those teams is named after a musical, and each of the 5 prompts for those teams are inspired by a song from said musical. So you're going to pick your team, and that's where you're going to stay with your people for the rest of the readathon. So that means that you're not allowed to kind of just handpick prompts from the different teams that you want to complete. And that's because, firstly, you want to become a Tony Award winner, and the only way that you can do that is by completing 5 of the prompts for your team's musical. Because each time you complete one of the prompts, you move up in rank. So if you complete the first prompt, you have survived your auditions. You've made it. If you complete 2, you are in the ensemble cast. If you complete 3, you are an understudy. If you complete 4, you are a lead, and if you complete all 5, you are a Tony Award winner. And you can only do that by completing all 5 for your team. The other reason is that for every challenge you complete, you're earning points for your team, and the team with the most points will become the Tony-winning best musical at the end of the readathon. So yeah, you want to earn points for your team, which means you've got to submit them to the Google form, which I've linked in the description box for you as well. Anytime you complete a challenge, just make sure you put it in there, because at the end of the readathon, we will announce the winner. And also, just as another rule and note, you can double up on prompts, and you will earn points for each prompt that you complete, even with doubled up prompts. So that's totally up to you. You just need to make sure that you put it in the Google form. So now we're going to talk teams. As I mentioned, there are 4 of them. They are Hadestown, Rent, Wicked, and Sweeney Todd. And as I also mentioned, each team also has 5 prompts attached to it. Now, I'm going to go through each team and their prompts, but there are also graphics that you can refer to that have the list of all those prompts on them as well, and they're pretty open to interpretation. The first team is Hadestown, which is Catherine's team, and the first of those prompts is Living It Up on Top, and that's to read a book with good vibes. Makes you happy, makes you want to laugh, makes you just feel good. Then you have Wedding Song, which is a book with dual POVs. Then you have All I've Ever Known, which is to read a book that is a retelling. So this could be a mythological retelling, this could be a fairy tale retelling, that sort of thing. Then you have Wait for Me, which is to read a book with an epic journey. And lastly, you have If It's True, which is to read a book with an unreliable narrator. Next up, we have Team Rent, which is Katie's team, and the first challenge is Seasons of Love, which is to read a book with a found family. Then you have One Song Glory, which is to read a book that might make you cry. And since I love tearjerkers, this is like an A+++ prompt in my opinion. Then you have I'll Cover You, which is to read a book with the friends to lovers trope. Then you have La Vie Boheme, which is to read a quote-unquote revolutionary book, and this could be a book that features a revolution or a book that has had like a revolutionary impact on society. You determine what revolutionary is. If it's revolutionary to you, it's revolutionary to us. And then lastly is Take Me or Leave Me, which is to read a book with 2 or more people on the cover. Now we're to Team Sweeney Todd, which is my team. And the first is to read The Worst Pies in London, which is to read a book that is out of your comfort zone. So this might be a genre that you don't normally read. If you're someone who is a little bit intimidated by larger books, it might be a large book. If you're someone who's intimidated by smaller books, it might be that. It's just something that pushes you beyond what you typically read. Then you have Greenfinch and Linnet Bird, which is to read a coming-of-age story. You have Joanna, which is to read a book with a name in the title. And this could be a first name, this could be a surname, this could be a nickname. If it's a name, it counts. And then you have A Little Priest, which is to read a book that is gothic or horror, or anything that's really dark in tone and vibe. Lastly, By the Sea, which is to read a summer beach read. So this could be a book set on a beach, or a book that you personally would take with you on a beach vacation and sit out and read. So whatever you interpret a beach read to be, it is. And then lastly is Team Wicked, which is Claire's team, and the first of the prompts is No One Mourns the Wicked, which is a book that you or another booktuber has DNF'd. Then you have What Is This Feeling, which is to read a book with the enemies to lover trope. Then you have Popular, which is to read a popular book. So this might be like a booktube darling, a bookstagram favorite, something on a bestsellers list, something that's won some sort of book award, just a really beloved book, whatever it is. Then you have Defying Gravity, which is to read a book with green on the cover. And lastly, For Good, which is to read a book that is recommended by a friend. So in addition to those 5 prompts, there are also some non-bookish prompts that will earn your team points towards becoming the best musical. And those include things like listening to the soundtrack for your team's musical, watching a movie musical, whatever movie musical you want, cosplaying, lip dubbing, or doing some sort of post on social media that is themed or inspired by your team's musical. And there is a separate graphic that lists those on them as well. Those go towards your team becoming best musical, but they don't count towards you becoming a Tony Award winner. The only way that you can become a Tony Award winner is by completing all 5 reading challenges for your team. So that is really the gist of it. We're trying to keep it pretty laid back and everything, but the Too Long Didn't Read It version is that this readathon is taking place from July 1st to July 14th. It is a Broadway musical themed readathon, and there are teams. You want to try to complete as many of your team's 5 challenges as possible in order to become a Tony Award winner. You also want to rack up points for your team so your team wins the Tony Award for Best Musical. There is a Google form that you use to keep track of your points. There's a Discord channel if you so choose to join it and become part of the community and just have fun with us there. We also will have reading sprints, at least one, but we haven't decided on a date yet, so we'll keep you guys in the loop and let you know when that is decided. But there will be at least one reading sprint during the readathon as well. But yeah, that's really it. I hope that you're interested. I hope that you're going to take part, and I definitely look forward to seeing people's TBRs for this one. But yeah, that's where I'm going to leave it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time.